Yeah.
I was having this discussion with someone. It might have been on Reddit or like on fucking one of the socials. I don't know. But like someone was asking, why did they bleep out the swears in like the adult version of Family Guy? It's like, because bleeps are funnier than the actual words. Like, for some reason, the sound effect, because it's unexpected in the middle of a speech, the sound effect, the sound effect of a bleep is funnier than just saying fuck.
Oh yeah, and hey, the stick of truth.
The stick of truth.
The censored, the scene, the censored for Australians.
Yeah. The koala. Yeah,
was funnier than what was cut out.
100%. Yeah. Like, because what was cut out can be found on the internet.
I know.
On Australia's own internet.
I know.
And
I did that. I read the koala scene. I giggled. I looked up the scene that was missing. I went, oh yeah, that was they made the right call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was much better.
I can't even remember what was cut out. All I can remember is the koala.
Yeah,
I remember the koala bit. I don't remember the cut content.
There was a dildo apparatus doing something to someone. I don't know if it was doing it to Randy or to Al Gore
it was something that
someone.
was trying too hard.
Yeah.
Do you think what we end up cutting out of this podcast will be funnier?
I'll leave that to history to judge.
Because this is a podcast.
Hi, welcome to How Much for Just the Podcast. I'm Damo.
And I'm Mick.
Make it so. On screen. Come. Stand by for source of separation. What is it you want, Q? What is it you want, Q? Agreed, number one. What is it, Doctor?
Seamless.
And we're not doing what we said we were going to do.
If you were expecting to, what were we up? We were up to First Contact, weren't we?
We were either going to do that or do the. We were maybe going to do the Voyager thing.
Yeah, the one small step. But instead, you're getting something completely different. Because fuck you. That's why. No.
Well, it was in the edit. It's like, we said if Lower Decks does something in the timeline that's earlier for their series finale, we would do that. And
plus, now that Lower Decks is finished, I feel like we need to do like a retrospective.
And the thing, it was Stardate classified.
Stardate.
They did not state exactly when it was set. There were people from all over the continuity in it. It could have been at any time in any universe. No one can ever say exactly where Fissure Quest Part 1 took place. So we're just going to do it now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we don't need that much of an excuse, but we've justified it to ourselves. So now we've justified it to you too, the viewer at home or listener at home, whatever.
Yeah,
anyway,
because we are going to, we don't want anyone to think that these arbitrary rules that we made up and imposed upon ourselves are things we don't take seriously.
We absolutely do when we want to.
This is the first time we've talked about Lower Decks explicitly.
And it's the penultimate episode as well. So it's unless they renew it, it's not too late. Get Tawny and Jack back and just keep doing Lower Decks for as long as Star Trek is. We've done this exact round. It's like, I know, and I'm going to keep doing it until they do it.
Put them in a shuttle and let them go.
Anyway. But yes, Lower Decks. It
was good.
Cameo heavy episode.
Yeah.
Which was, like, They just wanted to shoehorn in as many cameos as they could.
The episode was constructed entirely of fan service.
Yeah.
It really was.
And it was like not done in a terrible way. Like there's a way that you can do fan service that is just like, oh, for fuck's sake. But this one, like, it felt okay. And the fact that Boimler, William Boimler in this episode is annoyed by it too, like annoyed by the multiverse thing, is like that. I hate the bleeping multiverse. Yeah, exactly. The bleeping multiverse. Do you think it's a bit of a criticism about the Marvel movies as well? Like
undoubtedly.
The last few years of the multiverse of the Marvel movies?
Yeah, if everyone's just an evil version of someone you already know.
It's going to be a reverse Picard or a giant Spock.
Yeah,
I like that they mentioned giant Spock too.
Yeah,
the giant Spock appeared.
No, it was Borgified Spock, wasn't it?
No, giant Spock.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Well, he mentioned giant Spock, but giant Spock is canon,
right,
in Star Trek, the animated series,
right? Okay, which I haven't watched yet. No, it's not,
That's why I mentioned it.
Do we have to now refer to it as the first animated series?
I guess we do.
The original animated series.
It's yeah, kind of. Well, but like also, we still refer to it as, I don't know, the original series, even though I guess, well, it was the original Star Trek series. The original pilot was probably the original version of that. But yeah, yeah.
But we digress.
We do digress. We digress a lot. But yeah. I guess like the animated series is because there was no other series at that point. Like it was Star Trek, or it was Star Trek the animated series. Yes. There was no Next Generation. There was no Deep Space Nine. There was no Voyager.
You wouldn't go, oh, Star Trek's on tonight, and you say, what's this cartoon thing? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's
no. Hell with that.
It's sort of arbitrary, but still.
Because cartoons are for children.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't watch cartoons, kids.
No,
kids can watch them.
Kids must.
Yeah, but kids, yeah.
But if you're an adult, just act your bloody age.
Yeah. Act your bloody age. Don't go playing dress ups and watching silly cartoons. And you know, fucking. That's a visual gag.
Well, no, so like I should have. If only I'd had the Space Fun helmet ready to go.
If only.
But it's not compatible with the headphones.
No. I mean, you could make it compatible.
I could engineer it. Yeah. I mean, I could. The headphones. There are headphones wired into it, but I cut the wires off.
Right, of course.
For aesthetics.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Looks over practicality. That's our motto.
Yeah, I suppose the next stage is to make the version 2 Space Fun helmet a completely functional one. Yeah, for anyone listening is like, I mean, I'm
wondering why we're talking about dress-ups.
I'm 100% going to be putting some little snippets on the tubes of you or whatever, because you are a tube. Yeah. So, but yeah, we are wearing Lower Decks uniforms.
Yes, but yes, very fan servicey episode, but fun. Like it was just like the whole. Like skipping to the end again, like the whole building a transdimensional drive before warp drive seems a bit odd to me, but like also the juxtaposition of that versus the Federation that we know is an interesting thing, and bringing back Alfre Woodard, Lily Sloan,
her from the other.
She's been in heaps of stuff, but. Most famously for Star Trek fans, she was in First Contact as Lily Sloan, reprising her character here.
Yeah.
So is T'Pol. But yes, T'Pol's back, so that was good.
That was excellent.
Jolene. Formerly Jolene Blaylock, but wants to be billed as Jolene from now on, so that's what we shall refer to her as.
She didn't want to be like confused with the nanny from The Omen. Mrs. Blaylock, she was Damien's nanny.
Okay.
She was the one that, jumped off the window with the rope.
It's all for you, Damien.
That was Mrs. Blaylock.
Okay. I didn't remember that character's name.
I know far too much about the
and you're not the one called Damien.
No. And I know an unhealthy amount about the Omen franchise.
I went into a deep dive. Like, obviously I've got the name, but so I went into a deep dive for a while, but like it's not trivia that I just keep at the top of my head. It's I went into a deep dive with that and Hellraiser. Like I watched all of the Hellraisers, even the bad ones, of which there are many more bad ones than good ones.
Yes,
but some of the bad ones aren't as bad as I thought that they were going to be. But then the worst one is very bad.
I remember. I have fond. I think I've still got a digitized copy of it. It was like the Hellraiser 3 Hell on Earth soundtrack album was killer. I mean, I played that a lot. It's got some spectacularly good tracks on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and including the Motorhead like title track is just like
right.
It's a great album.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, can't remember a thing about the film.
No, I'm sure. Number 3's I think they brought back the daughter from the first one, but she'd changed her name or something, or maybe that was 4. I don't remember.
I really can't recall. Like,
maybe 4 was the one in space.
It was the one with that guy with the pins in his face.
Narrows it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
actually. I wonder if, no, there's no way that it'd still be hung. Like Nikolai, who famously wrote the title theme for our podcast.
Shout out to Nikolai Kingsley.
Yeah. Had made a pinhead mask.
Yeah.
Like he had like a wire mesh thing with like nails, like, welded in. So like, we'd go out clubbing and he'd wear the pinhead. I'd like to clarify we're going to goth clubs.
Yeah, it's right. Oh, that makes it okay then.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't like, down I can't even think of a name of a normal nightclub.
Billboards?
Yeah, right, yeah. We weren't going to billboards with it.
That's the I only know that because it's across the road from the Exford. So, that's
Revs. We didn't go to Revs.
We didn't go to Revs.
We didn't go to Revs with the pinhead on.
No.
We just went to the goth club.
Just in the middle of the dance floor with a couple of glow sticks. Just
yeah. No, that's it. What? Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm hip. I'm down.
Down with the kids, but you didn't know what Sigma means. You haven't heard Sigma.
Are they,
I don't know what Sigma means. I've just heard it.
It's some sort of particle, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You get too many sigma particles in the cells, and you
got to purge
the plasma needs to be flushed. And
Yep.
Too many sigmas. Yeah.
Yep. Over you got to reverse the polarity, and it's a whole thing.
Oh yeah. And push them out through the deflector.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to push everything out through the deflector. Maybe that's how it deflects things.
Equal and opposite reactions. Yeah. So maybe it does make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Let's talk about Garrish here, shall we? Because I was thinking about it when I did the episode rewatch, because like when they first showed up, it's like, aha, yes, they've made it canon. But then they stopped short of making Garrish here canon because it's not actual Julian Bashir. It's an EMH based on Julian Bashir. Yeah. Which was almost going to be when Robert Picardo guest starred in Deep Space. Like that's the episode where it was revealed that he's a genetic weirdo.
Yes.
Because they wanted to scan him and he didn't want that because, blah, blah, blah. And then it all came out that he was a genetic experiment or what have you. Yeah. Anyway, so it's not technically Julian Bashir or his personality exactly, but they still kind of gave us a bit of a.
Well, exactly. It was fan service. I mean, absolutely. I mean, if they're going to do that, I mean, they didn't make Harry Kim a lieutenant either, really.
No, true. That is absolutely true. It's alternate Harry Kim, yeah. Well, I mean, so are the rest of them, but yeah. It's evil Kim. That's why he never got promoted. It's because he'd turn evil.
Yeah.
He'd get over confident or what have you. But anyway.
Yeah, he started thinking he was like deserving of things.
Whereas you don't, Harry. You don't deserve anything. You will get nothing and like it.
No, absolutely. No, the crew of Harry Kim's was awesome.
Yeah, yep.
Do appreciate that. And look, I don't care. I don't care if it's not canon. I mean, the thing is, it is canon.
It is.
It is. There is a Garak Bashir couple that is canon.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It is still like because they're calling him Dr. Bashir in this episode, so it's not as if they're calling him the EMH. Like the EMH from Voyager was just called the Doctor or the EMH.
Yeah.
It wasn't named Zimmerman.
Yeah.
So like that's calling him Julian is more than was given to the Voyager's Doctor, I suppose.
Yes.
Like allowing him to adopt that sort of personality, whether that's again, it is just fan service, but still, I mean, they could just make, because like they did the Alone Together. I think I've shown you.
Yes.
Like Andrew Robinson and Alexander Siddig did the YouTube series.
Yes.
Alone Together, which it was they could have just made that canon too. So
they could have,
but anyway.
Yeah. No, this is why I feel like, we need Lower Decks permanently, because this is a thing that embraces our absolute philosophy of this is canon now.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like, what do we want? What do we need to see? It's like, well, we'll just make it happen. There we go. It's canon now.
Yeah,
there we go.
And bringing back even the silliest bits of Star Trek. That's what Lower Decks was great at. Like it didn't just like sweep it under the rug because that was a bit silly, like the game machine from Alan Moraine, or
Did we get a Horta in Lower Decks?
I don't think so.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. We got a salt vampire.
Yeah.
In like the first season, Jerry O'Connell is flirting with the salt vampire.
Yes.
But yeah, we did. I don't think we got a Horta. I could be wrong, but
Let us know in the comments.
let us know in the comments. But look, that's what Lower Decks did absolutely greatly, because I suppose the main Star Trek series, the live action Star Trek series, they do tend to sweep the silliest bits under the rug, like the box that Lwaxana had that was played by Armin Shimmerin with the face, the silver box.
Oh God!
They brought that back.
I'd completely blanked on that. Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm saying. Lower Decks brought
No.
that back.
No. It's just like
as something that was, it still exists within the universe.
Controversial position. I did not like the character of Lwaxana.
That's not controversial. It's just,
I don't know. I'm sure someone's going to take exception to me for it.
yeah. So here's the thing. I have grown an appreciation for Lwaxana over the years. I hated her when back when first
I
watching
think they absolutely made some efforts to fix the issues with the character as it went on and grew a bit. And yes, yeah. But I still think the entire character was just a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, look, yes and no. Look, I disliked her when I first watched the show, but like the older I get, the more I go, fucking when you're that age and you've got that sort of freedom, why wouldn't you just do whatever the fuck you want? And like the whole Picard getting annoyed at her and that sort of stuff was like, it's played for laughs, I guess. And you're right. Like initially she was sort of more of a joke character, but like then you get to her episode of Deep Space Nine, when she was looking after Odo in the elevator.
See, the Deep Space Nine is where they fixed everyone.
Well, yeah.
That's where you go to fix characters.
but like that was always sort of there in the background in Magel's performance.
Yeah.
Like you can pick up like bits and pieces.
Yeah. I say this is not a criticism in any way of Magel.
Oh no.
No.
No, but look, this is what I'm saying.
I think she did an exceptional job with that character.
Yeah.
I just think it was
yeah.
It was a silly idea.
So, sometimes, like, you skip over the Lwaxana episodes, but, like, then, yeah. I think there was maybe retroactively, like, a reason that her character was the way that she was.
Mm.
And I've grown more of an appreciation for that as I've gotten older myself, I suppose.
Fair.
And, like, the whole... I feel like Lwaxana would be a person that I'm friends with, is what I'm saying. Like, if a person like that existed in real life, just an outlandish, just says what she thinks and over the top, loud mouth. Like, I have friends that are over the top, loud mouths. So it's like, this is the sort of person that I'd be friends with. It's like Yeah.
No, that's fair. No, I get that. Is this the first time we've actually had a proper portrayal of Curzon?
Yes.
Yeah.
The only other time that Curzon has appeared is when he was in the body of Odo, and so that's the version of Curzon. Like if you get the Star Trek fact files on the ones that came out in the early thousands, late 90s, the Curzon page just had a picture of Odo as Curzon.
Right.
So yeah, this is the first time that we've seen the character as such.
Right. Yeah. So there's no. Yeah. Okay. So they did a completely new construct for that. It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure there's some.
It was referential. Like it was like we know enough about Curzon to sort of infer the details, and like this Curzon seems a bit different to the one that Renee or was it
the Odo guy.
Rene Auberjonois. Is that how you spell?
I do not know.
I've seen it written.
I don't think I've ever tried to say it.
I've seen it written a bunch, and like in my head, it's auberginois. But I don't know if that's correct or not. It's
He probably would have got annoyed if you just gone with aubergine or something.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Mr. Aubergine,
Mr. Eggplant. But yeah. So
just thinking Odo could actually fully form an eggplant down there, couldn't he?
he could absolutely.
Maybe they
Probably wouldn't because he's fairly humorless.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what Kira was into.
Yeah, well,
you know.
yeah, to keep Kira happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
She would have like got him to do it and then just pissed herself laughing. I think.
Yeah.
Just like, you actually fucking did it. Ah! Anyway, or Jadzia would have done that. Jadzia would have definitely tricked someone into being an eggplant. But yeah, so like this version of Dax does seem a bit different than what we know about. Like doing the whole like with the backlith on the bridge and just being a curmudgeonly sort of, but also it's an older version of the character. And
that's the thing. This is a Curzon that somehow survived. So it was like, and
having him be accident prone as well. But like, so it is a new thing, but like it's very referential to the old as well. And like the interplay between that version of Curzon and T'Pol works funnier as well, which I think that's the reason it was done in the first place. That sort of friendship between them.
And look, speaking of like Curzon and T'Pol are the ones where like the biggest clue, like to say we have no fucking idea when this is set.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was T'Pol dressed like, Enterprise T'Pol, but they mentioned to her have been married to Tucker for decades.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's obviously well past.
Yeah, it's well past the era of Enterprise, but also you've got
but she's still got but she's still got the same outfit.
Yeah.
But also Curzon, who I don't think Curzon should have existed until for a while. I don't know what time. What?
No, well, they're all from different time.
No, I know, but it's like
I mean, that's the thing. Like going into actual quantum mechanics,
Curzon and T'Pol could have overlapped.
Yes,
but it would have been a much older T'Pol.
Yes,
and
a much younger Curzon.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like actual quantum physics is one interpretation. There's an infinite number of universes. So there's a universe where the Big Bang happened half an hour later, 2 hours later, 70 years later. So there's a universe that exists at every single point in time.
But there were no hours until it happened.
What?
But there were no hours until it happened.
No, but
it can't happen. The Big Bang can't happen later because there's no before or after.
Can.
But there's no before or after until it happens.
Yeah, but it can. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
We're just gonna have to get a couple of Big Bangs in and actually just compare them.
The point is that there is in one interpretation of quantum theory, there is a universe that exists at every single point in time, where everything that happens in our universe has happened exactly. It just happened an hour later, 2 hours later, 3 hours later.
Okay,
that's the point that I'm making. So
ideally what we need to do is like find the 24 hours ago universe and get the lotto numbers.
Yeah. Oh, I've been working on that.
Okay.
It's I haven't done it yet, hence the fact that I'm still got to go to work.
Oh, but in an infinite universe you have.
Yeah.
In infinite possibilities you have.
Well,
and that Damo is just not helping
where's
out.
That cunt?
He's just not helping out.
What an asshole.
I mean, he's there. In infinite universes, infinite possibilities, there's a Damo who's figured out how to jump between universes, has won the lotto several times as a result, and he's choosing not to come and give you any.
What a dick.
Why? Why are you doing this?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to have a word with me.
Yeah. I would, yeah.
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 So,
well, that's the time travel thing. Is like if time travel is ever possible, time travel has always been possible.
Yeah.
So the fact that there's no evidence of it now means there never was, or they're deliberately snubbing us.
Yeah. That was the physicist. the physicist that did an advert in the paper said like
the time travel convention.
yeah, the time travel convention.
Wasn't that Hawking?
Was it Hawking? I thought it was like,
or is it just one of those things where like, every physicist is Hawking now? It's just like, just like name a physicist who did anything. It's like
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
But
he's like the Weird Al Yankovic of it.
yeah, he's just doing parody songs of other theories.
No, I just mean like, back in like, the Napster LimeWire does, like every parody song would have like, so we'll put Weird Al in because like, Weird Al was the only one who ever did anything like that, obviously. So every parody song was by Weird Al now. So now all of physics is by Stephen Hawking now.
Now, kids, Napster was a thing that we downloaded. Anyway, Google it.
God damn. Those were the days.
What a time to be alive.
It was.
Napster never gave $1 million to Joe Rogan.
No.
Turns out they were the more moral version of music sharing. Weird, right?
I know.
Sure, they didn't pay artists, but neither does Spotify.
No. But Spotify doesn't pay artists legally.
Yeah.
But the artists have agreed to not be paid.
Yeah, exactly.
they've signed contracts saying like, okay, I guess do what you don't have a choice.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, hi. Don't pay the money.
Just stop. Just don't.
Just don't. Don't pay Spotify money. Get off Twitter. Get off Facebook. Get off Instagram. Stop giving money to Jeff Bezos.
How many of those things have you been off?
Shut up. That's why.
Yeah, okay.
So Star Trek, eh?
Star Trek, eh? That's what I was going to do. I was going to look up the ship name, the Anaximander.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see if like that was a reference to anything or
they just wanted a Defiant class in the show. Something.
Yeah, it's just like, was this another thing? No, just the Anaximander was an ancient Greek philosopher who speculated on the existence of multiple realities. That's probably what it was like.
There you go.
No, there we go. Yeah, no, so like I just wondered if like if it was like another deep cut reference, if there was another,
Yeah, no, I'd never. I didn't look up the name,
was like there an Anaximander Defiant class wreck at Wolf 359 floating in the background in somewhere, just like was it that kind of a thing?
Well, the Defiant class didn't exist during Wolf 359. The Defiant class was designed as a reaction to Wolf 359. Sorry, I just went full nerd. I just did the thing. And actually, you'll find that the Defiant class. I did the thing.
Yeah, you did.
It's in me.
It is in you. The ship may have been the same Defiant class starship that picked up Boimler in Crisis Point 2 Paradoxus. So yeah, it may have just been the one they've done before, but yeah.
Yeah, it could have been, but also,
Yeah, no, I just wondered.
He's captain now.
The point being is like I had wondered if it was a reference to a ship name that was just like a thing in the background somewhere obscure previously, which is the kind of thing they do.
Yeah,
but yeah. But no, it was an ancient philosopher who thought about multiple realities. So it was an ancient Greek.
That is what Starfleet would call a dimension hopping ship.
Yes.
Like that's exactly what they would do.
Yeah.
Don't know why it's Section 31 that's doing it, but
is it 31 definitively, or is it like
that's who resurrected, or like who faked William's death.
Yeah, but I mean, is it that Section 31, or is it like more the kind of like, the time travel agency mob from?
I'd have to rewatch the episode where his death was, which is the one you just mentioned, and I've already forgotten it. I'd have to rewatch it, but I thought it was like definitively Section 31 because like they go welcome to Section 31.
Yeah,
I could be remembering that wrong, but like I'd have to rewatch
no, it's like
it
I hadn't really like I've just sort of like started mentally blanking out anything resembling Section 31. Now.
It's not that hard. It's easy to forget. Porsche, like
just whenever you're listening to this, the Section 31 movie came out last week.
Yeah,
and
it was. I'm certain it exists. Probably
it's not even bad. It's like
it's not bad enough to be angry about.
Yeah, it was just like,
but it's not good enough to be memorable.
It was a Star Trek series pilot. They went to great lengths to spread out to like an hour 30, and it achieves nothing and is for nobody.
That's the weird thing. Like a Star Trek pilot is generally a double episode, or like, well, back in the TNG days or the Deep Space Nine, it's generally like an hour and a half. Like it's generally, but for whatever reason, this was
like,
meh.
I mean, like it still feels like okay. My theory of Section 31 is like they had a first draft pilot script that just laid out, here is the setup for our, like, starring Michelle Yeoh, heist-based shenanigans show. Section 31, because that was there.
Well, yeah, it's see, like my whole thing is they wanted to bring back Michelle Yeoh because Michelle Yeoh is awesome. Like,
yes.
No fucking shade on Michelle Yeoh whatsoever, but like her, like,
she's absolutely the highlight of Section 31.
Her arc in Discovery was heavily, influenced, or I suppose, by the Section 31 bullshit that went on in Discovery Season 2. So it's like that's why they wanted to do that. But also, there's so many different ways you could bring back Emperor Giorgio. Like there's so many different things you could do. It didn't have to be Section 31.
If only there was some precedent for multiple realities and multiple timelines,
right?
In Star Trek, if only, if only you could just bring back a character from in another form whenever you wanted and leave all the previous baggage behind because they're a different person now.
But I mean, like, you don't even have to leave the baggage behind. You don't, like, you can have the Emperor Giorgio that had that arc in Discovery.
You have complete and total freedom to do any bullshit you want.
Yeah. Have a spy caper movie or a spy, like, intrigue movie based in the post-Picard Star Trek universe. Instead, they've done another prequel.
Yeah. I'm sorry, like, I'm just obsessed with the idea of Tawny's Angels, where you've basically you've got Worf and Bashir and Garak in some sort of like penthouse apartment on Riser, just lounging about all day, like sipping cocktails, and suddenly the phone rings and it's Mariner on the speaker saying, we have a job for you.
Good morning, angels. And Michael Dorn's just, I'm not an angel. I'm not a merry man.
And Garak, oh yes you are. We know. We know you. I mean, yeah. So, yeah. Well, so Paramount get call.
I had a similar pitch. Like after season 1 of Picard, that the series that I wanted to see was Janeway's Angels, which was like bring back 7 of 9 as a Fenris Ranger who's secretly being funded or supported by Starfleet in the form of Captain Janeway. Like Janeway would be the the Admiral liaison. Bring back. So I wanted to bring back Jerry Ryan, obviously, Ensign Rowe, and Scarlet. Sorry, my brain just shut down.
No, we know that.
I just ran out of battery. I'm sorry. No, bring back Naomi Wildman.
Get the pin.
Yeah. Do the reset thing. Jesus. No, bring back Naomi. So Naomi Wildman, 7 of 9, Ensign Rowe, doing Fenris Ranger shit, off-book Starfleet nonsense.
Do you reckon Rowe's allowed to get promoted now or something?
Oh, well, I think officially Rowe's dead.
Yeah, officially. We know it's not.
Yeah, like I mean, that was one of the things like they wanted to do in the like last bits of Picard season 3 is bring back Rowe, and they just didn't have time. They also wanted to do like a Data meets his daughter thing that didn't have time for it. The Tuvok scene was going to be Kate Mulgrew instead of Tuvok, but couldn't afford Kate Mulgrew for one scene, and also Tuvok had already appeared. But the fact that Tuvok's alive, despite being duped by like duplicated by a changeling, that's enough to say that Rowe's still alive.
Like anyone can be still. Like, this is the point. It's like Star Trek. If we want someone to be alive, there's a way.
Yeah.
There's a way.
Absolutely. Look,
You know,
I do.
you know, unless we actually see the head come off. You know, and even then, you know.
It is true. And it's mentioned in this episode, you know, Shax came back from life and he stabbed the mashed potatoes. So I love Shax. Anyway, but they do say, like, death doesn't necessarily mean the end, but also I am firmly of the opinion that death needs to mean something in fiction.
Oh, yes.
Like, you can't just kill a character off and bring him back, you know, later on. Fucking... The Supernatural made a trope of it, of killing people off and bringing them back. And, like, that's fun. It's fun to do, but also... Do you know the thing that ruined death in fiction? The death of Superman. Like, the death and return of Superman, that was a massive thing at the time. Like, I've got a
feeling we may have touched on this previously.
Really?
Or maybe it was at the pub.
Look, I've talked about this, to myself. No, we've probably definitely had the discussion before.
Oh, yeah.
But also, like, I'm not sure it's been on the podcast. I don't know. I don't listen to this podcast.
Let us know in the comments.
But killing off a main character was unheard of in the 80s, and then DC did it with the death of Superman, and they also, like, completely turned everything else on its head by breaking Batman's back and making Hal Jordan a bad guy. They did all this stuff for shock value, and, like, sales did skyrocket in the short term, but long term, because Superman was never going to stay dead. Like, he's their fucking flagship character. Like, so they brought him back, and that sort of opened the floodgates of going, well, if you die in comics, you don't. No, you don't.
But then Buffy did it.
Buffy did it, yeah. Well, Buffy did it after Superman.
No, I know. I mean, it's like, that was another, like, step down the path. But also they did it. I still remember, because they did it with, they killed Buffy, which is a thing that you never assumed was going to stay done in a show called Buffy.
Yeah. But also, like season 6 wasn't guaranteed at the time.
Oh, no, I know.
Like, it shifted networks, so it could well have ended there. Yeah. Like, that could have been the end of the show.
Yeah. But then they killed Buffy's mother for real.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yep. And that's a hell of an episode.
I still remember, like, that was still happening in the era where there was a substantial time delay between Australian TV viewing and the rest of the world. So you'd often be 6 months to a year, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Of stuff happening in a show you liked and getting to see it, unless you knew someone who posted you VHS tapes. But I still remember, being spoiled on that by, I was just reading news articles, reading some entertainment news website.
You're doing that on your phone, but you definitely weren't doing that at the time the news came.
No, actually, the weird thing is, I remember it because I was using an offline news reader on my Palm Pilot.
Wow, look at you, Mr. 21st Century.
And I was scrolling with my little stylus through news headlines going, hey, isn't this cool? I've got news on a handheld device. And now, now it's like, oh, fuck, can I stop having news on my hand? just take all the information away from me, please. I don't need it. But anyway, no, I was scrolling through and I saw this headline that was so concisely, so perfectly constructed to be the worst thing ever. It was like, in quotes, Buffy's mom really dead, says Joss Whedon.
Right. and that's how you found out.
And that's how I found out.
Yeah.
Because for everyone else, this is like a recap of this week's episode, saying it ends on the cliffhanger. It's like, oh, are they going to undo it? And just saying, no, actually, no, we're sticking with it. We've definitively killed this character in this episode that I wouldn't see for another year.
Yeah, there won't be out in Australia for yonks.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, it's hard enough to do now. Like it's hard enough to avoid spoilers for a show without watching that as it comes out. Like fucking Severance. I went last weekend without watching Severance until the Sunday night, and that was a struggle to try and avoid what was happening in that. And that was episode 2 of season 2. Yeah. And
if you're listening to this and you haven't got onto Severance, get onto
Severance.
Oh my God.
It's very good. Adam Scott, brilliant.
Yeah.
And Gwendolyn Christie's in this season. I didn't know.
Oh no, I didn't know either.
Yeah, she's
spoilers.
in It's casting news.
They gonna-
Apparently she's been doing like the
Are they
promotional
going to make her
circuit.
wear a helmet the whole time? This
No. She's in episode 3. She's I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, she's in episode 3 if you haven't watched it. But yes, get on to Severance. It's a very good show.
It is. Oh, I'm looking at the Anaximander page. I was wondering about, why I was looking at a bunch of Section 31 references. That's right, Soliton Waves. Yeah, Soliton Waves have had a resurgence, haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like a Soliton's the new Chronotons.
Well, Solitons are, I suppose, for universe travel. Chronotons are time travel.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's all waves.
All waves, all particles, or both.
Oh, that's a bit tricky.
Speaking of complicated maths,
Imagine something being a wave and a particle at the same time. My goodness.
it's not possible. That's the next announcement Trump's going to make is light's binary. It's either particles or waves. It can't be both. There's no spectrum. It's going to be the next announcement.
Just pick one.
Yeah, it's a signed wave at birth.
Sine wave at birth.
Maths joke.
Oh,
I did like Archer being called a big Starfleet nerd.
yes.
That's just like it. And DePaul just agreeing. It's just like, yes, big Starfleet nerd
Yes.
is an accurate description.
Yes.
It is, absolutely.
No. Oh God, I do think we're due an Archer comeback.
Yeah, like it's yeah, like I don't know how. Like
No, I know. I don't think he's into the idea either.
No, probably not.
No, but the thing is, like,
but he was into NCIS New Orleans. That's okay. Good
Yeah.
luck. He was on the Decon Chamber podcast.
oh really?
Yeah. That's good. Clips of that every now and again show up on my feed somewhere. Or look on Instagram or something. They got a good thing going, the Decon Chamber. I suppose like they've got the inroads because they are Star Trek actors to start with.
Yes.
But, you know.
We could be. Call us.
Yeah. Give us, give us a ring.
We're available.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll stand in the background of anything.
Who won't get in anyone's way? I just stand at the back.
We've got our own uniforms.
No, Scott Bakula was on that, and he was talking about the fact that because like Enterprise's ratings weren't so bad. Like if it was in syndication, like every other series, there's no reason it wouldn't have gotten 7 seasons. But because it wasn't, like it was television, it was moving out of that era, so that's why it only got the 4 and that sort of thing. It wasn't as dire as like history might remember, I suppose.
God, what did I see Bakula in the other day? It was like I was watching something and Bakula appeared in it. I'd completely forgotten It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a sort of like an alternate universe. It was one of the weird episodes, like a dream episode, but basically, like, Scott Bakula is like working in a nursing home in the background,
right?
And they keep saying, "Oh, did you jump into here?" And he's like, "No, that's not how it works. I make some bad financial decisions."
I like it. Sorry, speaking of leaping, I'm pissed off that they cancelled that as well. The Quantum Leap reboot.
Oh, was that cancelled? I wasn't sure if it was back or not. I was like, I did enjoy that.
Yeah. Last season was its last season, so
Yeah.
it's not coming back. So I'm pissed off about that. What else am I pissed off about? Just things in general, basically.
Go on.
But yeah, so Scott Bakula, like, I suppose it'd depend on the situation. Like, I'm not, because you can't really put him in Strange New Worlds because he like Archer as a character would be too old and dead.
Yeah. Unless there was such a thing as canonical time travel.
Yeah, right. Yeah, look, it's doable. It's 100% doable. Like it's also.
Well, that's just the thing. It's like if you in Star Trek, if you want a thing to happen, there's a way to make it happen.
Yeah. It's usually
they're absolutely
diverting the tachyons through the
deflector. Yeah.
Or reversing the polarity. Those are the two things. Or 50 cc's of inappropriate.
Yeah.
If it's a medical emergency.
Yeah. Or something about plasma conduits.
Plasma conduits. It's the intermix chamber.
Oh, inspection. Yeah.
Get to be
Go
the
watch the thing. Yeah.
Level 8 diagnostic.
Mm.
Level.
Let's not go crazy here.
I don't know. Like I'll run a level 8 diagnostic. Okay, that'll diagnose the problem. You're gonna fix it after that. That's the thing that I've been thinking about recently. Yeah. I was rewatching an episode of TNG, and it's like I've run a level 8 diagnostic. It's okay, and then
look, for my professional point of view, like if I'm running a diagnostic on something, it's usually to find out which component I need to get warranty repair arranged for.
Yeah.
So so maybe that's just it. Like it's like, is the warp core still under warranty? We'll just we'll just get like a service tech, to come out and replace it. And Geordie trying to frantically put the seals back on so it doesn't look like he's messed with it and voided the warranty.
Putting the sticker back on. It was literally a subplot. Like Leah Brahms showed up. It's like, what fucking modifications have you made to my engine?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you made better.
What else happened in this Lower Decks episode that we watched? Next Mando rifts.
Harry,
universe jumps.
Crew of Harrys.
Look, that was just some of the best Harry Kim we've had.
Yep.
That was awesome.
This is un-Kim-like behavior.
The fact that all the Harry Kims get together and form a society with their own customs is just like with their own values and
Did your Voyager get back to the Alpha Quadrant, or did you settle in the Delta?
Yeah. Sloan, Paul, they're not villainous.
But most of Lily's crew were Vulcans too, which is interesting. So, theoretically, in their universe, the Vulcans monitor for transdimensional travel as well, instead of warp travel, because that's why they came and visited Earth.
Well, they must have had warp travel. If the Vulcans made it to Earth, the Vulcans must have had warp travel.
But that's the thing, because when the warp drive is mentioned, Lily goes, "What the hell's a warp drive?" Doesn't know. So the Vulcans are there, but they're also not warp capable because warp isn't a thing.
But then how are the Vulcans there?
Exactly. That was one thing that confused me. But because Lily quite literally says, I don't know what a warp drive is, but Zephyr helped me build the transdimensional thing.
Well, she must have done a dimensional jump to a planet where the Vulcans were already on Earth.
Exactly. So
and picked them up.
But for them to be on that Earth, wouldn't they therefore have warp drive in that reality? It's all a bit odd.
Okay, so maybe she picked up some Vulcans that were on Earth because their ship had crashed there some centuries earlier, and they'd just been hiding in Carbon Creek for
I like that.
And then she jumps to the next reality and goes,
yeah. But they're also part of her crew. It's it's implied that there's a federation.
Dear Vulcans, do you want to stay on this war devastated Earth or come on our ship to another dimension?
Well,
is her beagle just like an exploration ship reference, or is that actually an Archer reference as well? They don't actually observe. They don't actually mention anything to do with it, do they?
No.
They just call it the beagle, and it could be. It's not referring to Archer's dog. I mean, it makes sense because it's the Darwin ship name.
Yeah.
But it's also potentially an Archer's dog reference.
Yeah, because it was a beagle.
Yeah. Which again, I think was him having a beagle supposed to be a Charles Darwin reference.
Possibly.
I never thought of that before. It was Archer's got a dog. It's a beagle. Because Darwin. No.
Yeah. Well, when we start doing Enterprise, we can do a deep dive into that. But that's probably a good point. Is Porthos was a beagle because
of the beagle, yeah. When they, but the only thing I was noticing though, the uniforms were very enterprising.
They were,
which made me wonder if that was kind of a.
Yeah, maybe, but the uniforms of Enterprise, like I think it's just like that sort of era that they just use those.
Yeah, but that's not where she's from, though.
No.
No. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that they put the Enterprise uniform style in there makes me think there was some kind of. There may have been a room for an Archer thing that was dropped or not mentioned, or
yeah, maybe. But like Enterprise is based like has. Like the opening episode of Enterprise has references to Zephram Cochrane and that sort of thing. So it's like it's just contemporary, I think.
Yeah,
maybe. I could be wrong, but like yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is, like, I saw people in Enterprise-y style uniforms on a ship called the Beagle and was wondering if there was a connection or a piece that wasn't.
It's a fair question.
Mentioned or, you know.
Yeah. It might have been left in a draft somewhere that, you know, then they couldn't get Scott Bakula in, so they had Lily Sloan show up because they could get Alfred Woodard. It's possible.
Actually, that's an angle I hadn't thought was like, yeah, maybe that was a guest spot for Bakula.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah.
Like maybe Bakula was supposed to be captain of the
Beagle.
Of the Beagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't get Bakula. Couldn't get Bakula. Couldn't get him Bakula. Because the back.
Babe.
Whatever.
And baby got Bakula?
Don't know.
Is that something? Let us know in the comments.
What was the? Oh, that's right. I was going to talk to you about because Bakula played. Sorry, this is going back to the Hellraiser conversation.
Yeah.
Because the sequel to Hellraiser, the Scarlet Gospels or whatever it is, has Harry D'Amour.
Right.
So Clive Barker's character, Harry D'Amour, he's like a supernatural detective. And he's been in other stories, and like the Scarlet Gospels is like him facing off against Pinhead or the Hell Priest, which is the technical character's name. Anyway, Harry D'Amour was played in a movie by Scott Bakula.
Right.
In the 90s.
That's what you're doing there, just on a tangent. I just noticed that, like, you know, in the quotes section for this episode on Memory Alpha, one of the quotes is, "I'm so sick of the bleep multiverse," and bleep is a link that goes to a Memory Alpha page on profanity, and I'm very happy to see that the first image at the top there is Data.
Love it.
The first person to swear.
Shit.
The first person to swear in Star Trek.
Lord of Illusions, 1995.
Lord of Illusions. Okay.
So it was a Clive Barker movie. Scott Bakula as Harry D'Amour. Private detective guards an illusionist's beautiful wife.
According to the profanity page, there is one occurrence in the entire canon of the word bollocks.
Really? Who? Where?
It's
when?
Miles O'Brien, of course.
Of course it is.
When Molly falls into the time portal thing, Miles O'Brien says bollocks when some of the equipment to get her back does.
Excellent.
Yes.
And Mary Wiseman's the first one to drop an F-bomb in Discovery Season 1.
The only occurrences of Dick are in Lower Decks.
Of course.
And they're both Mariner.
Of course. Mind you, there was a Dick in Voyager. Andy Dick, he was in that episode. The worst person to ever be in Star Trek.
There's a lot of fucks. I mean, not a lot by global standards, but
considering that fuck was only first mentioned in like season 1 of Discovery, it's relatively recent in Star Trek history for them to have used it. You know, pretty much everyone since, except for Prodigy. Oh, well, I don't think there's swearing in Strange New Worlds. I don't remember any swears.
Yeah, no, it's probably a little bit out of fashion in that era.
But that era is Discovery. So,
but I mean, like, yeah, they're coming into the TOS kind of era feeling.
So yeah, sure.
Yeah, which was with the TOS. I don't know, just like you can just feel like the culture feels a bit more formal.
No longer wartime.
How many shits? Oh, hang on. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. I didn't realize there was a shit in Voyage Home.
Really?
Yeah. In 1966, Dr. Gillian Taylor asked Captain Kirk if he was in the military trying to teach whales to retrieve torpedoes or some dipshit stuff like that.
Dipshit.
Kirk simply responded, "No, ma'am, no dipshit." In addition to the above, the word fuck was also used by a native of 20th century San Francisco in the script of the Voyage Home, though not heard in the final version of the movie. The full version of the song "I Hate You" contains the phrase "bloody fucking hell," although the verse of the song was not heard in the film.
Right. Well, because you're allowed to have one fuck and keep a PG rating, isn't it? Or is it two, is it like two fucks?
We've got some exact things here. It's like showrunner Michael Chabon stated that the reason Starfleet officers did not use such language in previous series, other than the Discovery and Picard, had nothing to do with moral upstanding, but rather censorship. He said that the absence of swear words in Star Trek was never a matter of Federation principle. It was a matter of FCC rules.
Well, yeah. Writers
of previous eras had no choice. They were censored. Swearing is one of humanity's most ancient, sensible, and relatable constellations. Personally, I would consider any society that discouraged, banned, or abandoned the use of curse words to be a fucking dystopia.
That's a good quote. I do like that. Yeah, yes. Look, obviously, we know the reason. It was because of censorship, FCC. But it's the same reason, the same way we know that the transporters exist because they didn't want to film the landing sequences of the ship. Doesn't mean that it can't be explained in universe in that regard. But yes, I don't think that swearing's going to go away at all.
No,
it's.
No, the fucking seal's been broken now.
Yeah, fuck oath.
Oh.
Or fucking, or even in the prim and proper eras or whatever. What is it? Mozart had that the composing song called "Lick My Ass." So it's like even that's not as The Elizabethans were fucking dirty cunts.
What was the thing that came up recently? It was like, which Shakespeare was it? Titus Andronicus introduced the "your mum" joke.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Villain, I've done your mother.
Yeah. I'm sure that your mum jokes existed before that, but
well, let us say that is our earliest recorded.
Yeah.
So, do we have any final thoughts? I mean, we've done a lot of our standard digression, which is
that's par for the course. At this point, if you're still listening to us, you expect this by now.
Indeed. But I mean,
this
is like us theoretically rounding up Lower Decks.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought maybe it might be nice to do a retrospective at some point.
I think we could.
But look, I'm going to miss Lower Decks. I'm going to miss the fun of it because rewatching season 1, it did start off as very much Rick and because it was criticized as a Rick and Morty in Star Trek.
It was very Rick and Morty,
and it was that, and I think that was just sort of to get it off the ground. That was their hook, and once they had it, then they pivoted to the Lower Decks that we know and love,
yes.
where it was making all these deep cut references and all of these, just basking in the joy and silliness of Star Trek that we all are obsessed with, and really love, and look, that's sorely needed. I think not just in Star Trek. I think in most franchises, because a lot of franchises tend to take themselves too seriously. Star Trek has been guilty of it in the past of taking itself too seriously. The first season of Discovery was very grimdark, very very modern, almost Battlestar Galactica level of dire straits and that sort of thing. And it needs to be fun, particularly in 2025. God, we need some levity but really embracing the parts of the franchise that are over the top or a bit silly or a bit absurd or maybe don't make a lot of sense or just referencing Tuvix and all the memes and jokes that we make as fans,
Yeah.
they were putting that in the show.
So much better than just like, just this trying to pass off like, all of their recreational enjoy, activities are like fucking poetry recitals and string quartets.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like everything. No.
Sometimes you go to the bar and have a drink.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like 10 Forward was very
Sometimes
much
you go to Planet Bar.
Planet Bar. Yeah, exactly. Like the 10 Forward was just basically a restaurant. Like it was a very quiet. It's more like a cafe than it was a bar.
Yes,
and yet you could go there and have alcohol. But like,
I think the implication there would be though that if you needed something more wild and raucous, you'd just holodeck it.
Yeah, exactly. But with a crew of 800, getting holodeck time must have been difficult to schedule. Like that's why I always thought there'd be like group activities, like you'd have a, you just like conjure up nightclub night on the on the holodeck. It's like if you needed like a big concert or a big show or whatever, you just holodeck that shit. It's like it makes more sense for 10 Forward to be just like, I didn't have plans. I'm just gonna just drop in there to chill and have a drink on my way before I go back to my quarters. Type thing. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But if you wanted to do something loud and spectacular, the holodecks would just be the number one place to try and pull that shit off.
Absolutely. And conjure anything and everything you like. But the point is, like, I think Lower Decks is number one. It really leans into the everything that we know and love about Star Trek, and also it makes the characters more human in a way, like it's, which is ironic given that they're animated characters. But it's
and many of them aren't human.
Yeah, and many of them aren't human. But like they're very much people that you would see in your work colleagues where you go for a beer after work or whatever. It's that sort of thing. And if Lower Decks doesn't come back, it should. If it doesn't come back, we need something else like it. So I hope Tawny's show is that's what it's going to be.
I'm really optimistic about the Riser thing.
Yeah, look, I'm tentative, but look, I'm tentative about everything these days. Like I was worried about Strange New Worlds. I was worried about Discovery. I was worried about Picard. Look, it's just where my brain sits nowadays, because there is that little nerd in the back of my head just going, "What are you doing that for?" It's always there. It's always going to be there. But like knowing when to quiet that and when to ignore it and when to say you were wrong about this. Yeah. And I was wrong about Lower Decks. Gonna put it out there. I wasn't sure about the show even after the first few episodes of the first season. Like I said, it started off as the Rick and Morty, and it's like, is this really for me? And after 5 seasons, I can definitively say it was for me.
Yes. I mean, my initial thoughts in the first season was like, I thought it would be better framed as a fictional show from the 24th, 25th, whatever century, like this would be a show that was shown as entertainment to people in, say, the Picard era. Like that's the sort of thing they're making. Again, you're not just doing string quartet recitals. Some people are still making cartoons. And I thought maybe someone doing a workplace cartoon about Starfleet in that time would make sense. Yeah. And I thought maybe the show would be better framed as that. It would give you a bit more freedom to, play with things canon, a bit. But I can't complain with what they did. They got it right. They got it right.
Yeah. Give them season 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Just let them keep going. Just keep it as long as they want to keep going.
Keep it going until it has more episodes than The Simpsons.
Yes, sure.
That'll probably see it out through our lifetimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Simpsons are probably going to see it out our lifetime.
Yeah, there's still no signs of quitting. It's one of the main casts is going to have to die.
Yes.
Before anyone even thinks about stopping.
And even then.
No, it's like even then, before anyone even thinks about stopping, you're going to have, Harry Shearer's going to have to drop dead.
Yeah.
Before anyone even considers stopping.
Yeah, so That's the lower decks. Or see, that's the penultimate. We haven't even done like the follow-up episode of that. Like,
No, we haven't.
Normally we do double episodes together, but we just wanted to.
But we
do
know,
this one.
we know the second half. We know what stardate roughly that one happens.
Exactly.
So yeah, we can't do that now. It'd break the
Not-
rules.
we can't break the rules that we made.
We're very serious about the rules, and we've got to give you the audience what you want, and we've made a pledge to do certain things in a certain order.
I had my fingers crossed when I made that pledge, so
Oh, shit.
I'm not bound by anything.
Wish I'd fucking thought of that.
Yeah,
Fuck.
right.
Oh,
See,
too
you
late.
should've. Anyway, tune in next time when we do. It's either going to be the Voyager episode or it's going to be First Contact.
First
We haven't
Contact,
decided which, but we'll decide on the day or like the day before, like we did, with this one.
Maybe we could go live.
Go live, stream it.
Yeah, we could stream First Contact, the movie. That everyone would love that, and there would be no repercussions.
No, none at all. I mean, we could MST3K it. Like we could do the Mystery Science Theater, like piss take of it. I'm sure Riff Tracks. I know Riff Tracks did a Wrath of Khan one. So they watch the movie.
Yeah,
but
no. Yeah, you don't need to explain how it works.
No, well, I'm just
Yeah.
you didn't you didn't know what Sigma was. So sometimes I've got to explain things to you. You're ancient.
All right. Now. So since you're so down with the kids
I'm
and
hip with the kids.
in chin with everything,
They know I'm the cool
while
one.
the microphones are running and everyone's listening, why don't you explain Sigma to me?
Well, a computer and program.
Where the hell are we? Where the hell are we?
How Much for Just the Podcast is a Grouse Media production. The theme music you heard was the Picard rap by Nikolai Kingsley.
Where the hell are we?
For all links to our stuff, we have lots of stuff, go to prettygrouse.com.
There are 4 lights. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. Shut up.
Star Trek, eh?
Star Trek, eh? I just noticed I've got a Lunig above me.
Oh, you do too.
That's another guy that can get fucked. Well, he's dead now.
Yeah, he has. He's definitively got fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could not get any more fucked.
No. Well, I can hope. Maybe he's getting pitchforked.
By a little duck.
Yeah, by a little duck.
Whimsically.
Oh yeah. just getting injected with vaccines for all of eternity.
But whimsically.
Yeah, whimsically.